sorry. Hey, everybody. Had the camera facing the wrong way. And so I just took a picture of Peter walking out in the rain to get some of my stamp blocks that are in my purse that are still in my car because I just got here to the campground. Woo! What a storm we've been having. I have not seen lightning like this for a really, really long time. Quite the beautiful show. We have no power in Wells, and but my older son came home from work early. He works second shift, and so he is with his brother, and they're making it through in the dark. So hopefully they get their power back soon. We do have power at the campground. I'm not sure how good the service is going to be here. So you might not be able to view this until tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on where you are and whether or not you have power, I suppose. But I'm going to get started. Peter's coming in right now with my stamp blocks that I almost forgot, but did not. I packed them early this morning. I just didn't bring them in with me from the car. So anyway, let me turn us around. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be able to speak to anybody tonight because I don't have my second setup. I just got to the campground. I hope you enjoy tonight's card. Let me turn you down. Whoops, that's the wrong way. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so it's a little bit of a shadow, not too bad. All right, we're going to be working right here. So I'll try to keep things in the right spot. Let me tighten up my stand a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of thick very vanilla cardstock. And you know what? I did not pre-score this. I thought I had pre-scored it. So we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and fold it in half. Boy, I hope I don't have to cut anything for tonight. That's going to be hard. I do have my trimmer out in the car, I think, or out in the, in the car, I think, but I think I'll be fine. Everything else is pretty much cut that needs to be cut. So this is what we call a hot dog fold, or what I call a hot dog fold, and I know other people do as well. And that's usually I have it the other way, that it opens this way, and that's the hamburger fold, short and squat. And this is the long one. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've folded it in half at 5 1/2. Now I have a piece that's slightly smaller. The measurements will go up on my blog a little bit later, but I would say that this is probably 3 3/4 by 5, so about a 1/2 inch less in each dimension. Now I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing here. I'm trying to smooth out this fold line because I didn't score it in advance, which breaks down the fibers. It's a little bit of a rough fold there, but we're going to have to just make do with it. So now on this smaller piece right here, I have 2 smaller pieces. Why do I have 2 smaller pieces? Oh yeah, this is a scrap. So I have some options here. I might, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I might mount this on a piece of early espresso that's cut just 1/8 of an inch larger, which would be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, but we'll see. I might do that, or I just might have tone on tone, which you can't really see very well here, but trust me, it's tone on tone. And what I'm going to do is get out my Earthen Textures stamp set and coordinating dies. Now this is actually going to be the stamp set and dies that I feature along with the coordinating designer series paper, Earthen Elegance. I forgot, I'm blanking right now. But this is what's going to be the feature of my Tune In Tuesday class this coming Tuesday, and I've got some great projects for you then as well. So I hope you'll tune in at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. You can see that we've got several different stamp sets and then lots of dies, some that cut out shapes that go along with the stamps, and that's these three flowery stock ferns, I don't know, palms, whatever they are. And then we've got 2 pots or vases. And then you've got some decorative elements as well. So there's really quite a nice variety here. This little piece right here turns a vase into like a handled vase or a handled pot. So that's kind of cool. We are going to use a couple of different ones. We're going to use this tall vase and we're going to use the small one. I'm going to bring out this fan, and then I'm going to bring in the palm branch. I don't really know how to talk about those guys, so we're just gonna do with what we've got. All right, and then I want to stamp using this one. So now I need to find in my purse the block that I brought along. I brought a long one because I knew I needed to do that palm. And then I've got another smaller one too. So I'm going to mount this, and I'm going to bring in a piece, a scrap piece, and my crumb cake ink pad. Let's see here. Now on this particular stamp, there's it's hard to tell which is top and bottom, but the top is very, very straight. The bottom has a very slight curve to it and a couple little bump outs on the end. And we're just going to stamp that right on here in crumb cake, and you can see it puts nice texture on there. And then we're going to do some die cutting. So I brought my Baby Boss, which is what I call the little stamp embossing machine, and we're going to die cut with, now it comes with different plates. Here's the number 1 plate. That is generally what people use, but I find my particular machine works a little bit better with number 3 as the base. And that's just because all machines are a little bit different. And so I just played around until I found that sometimes I couldn't get it through, like I couldn't wheel it through with this one, so it was a little bit thicker than the other one, so that's why I chose the other one. So now let's go ahead and we're going to, I might as well use some of this washi tape since it's here. Now one of the differences between this particular die set and others is that the die is smaller than the vase itself. So you won't be getting a white edge when you die cut this, or in this case a vanilla edge. It's going to be stamped image all the way to the edge. So let's go ahead and wheel this through. I know it's really wiggly. This is a camper table, so it is a little wiggly. So here I have this. I'm going to just peel this carefully away. And so you can see that there's no vanilla edge at all. I'm going to do some more die cutting. So this is part of the Earthen Elegance paper as well, and I think it's really, really fun. You get some of these drip marks. I kind of think of this as like a bean pot. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to put that through. Feature, do I want that? I think I want a couple of little drips down that side. So I'll put that one in. And I think at the same time I could probably fit on here my, let's see if it fits on there. Yeah. My little palm frond, or I don't know what it is. You know what? Let's see. Let's see if I can get this on here or not. I know I'm working a little bit off camera. It's my camp setup, so we have to do what we can do. And so we'll just wheel this through. Somebody found me and is watching me. Go ahead and say hi in the little chat area if you want, or give me a little heart or thumbs up, something like that. And so here now you have just another little vase with some, I'm sure you've all seen vases and pots like this that have that two-tone look where that's kind of dripped down. And then the last thing I want to die cut is this fan. And I'm going to do that from Pretty Peacock. Pretty Peacock is a former In Color that came back as now one of our core colors. It was so popular. Maybe if I turn it this way, you'll see things a little bit better. And my hands won't get in the way as much. All right. And with this fan, you can keep it perfectly flat the way it is right now, or you can see that there are some score lines on there, I think, and you can give it a little bit of texture by folding in there. And the more you fold and you know, more you pinch on the other side, the more depth it has, more dimension. And so you can, I don't think there's a lot of need to do this, maybe just a little bit, because it's going to flatten out a little bit in the mail anyway when it goes through into the envelope and through the machine. I'm going to go ahead and bring back this piece right here, and I wanted to add a little bit of something to the background because this is very stark white. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Write marker. Now this is not a blend. This is the water-based Stampin' Write marker. The end is a little bit tougher, and these are not nearly as expensive as the blends. I would never do this with a blend just because I don't want to break the tip of my blend very much. So if you just flick it in here inside the cover, I'll bring it up closer in a minute. But this is one way you can put just some speckles all over your cardstock. Now you do want to make sure that some of your other images are not in the vicinity because you don't want to get speckles on them, but I don't know if this will come into focus or not. But there are speckles. We used to have cardstock that looked like this. We called it naturals, but we don't have that anymore. So now I'm just going to bring in my pieces, and I'm going to bring in my adhesive. My adhesive of choice, as most of you know, is the green glue. And let's see, I'm just sort of arranging this first off. Maybe I have something like this. I'll trim off the end here. And then I'm going to have my tall one right up here with this one sticking in. Something like that. All right, so that means I need to glue down the foliage first. And because this is going underneath, I don't need all that stem. Now, my glue is eking out right here just because of the pressure I think of when I picked it out of my bag. I just want to make sure that that's pretty thinly applied on there. It does dry clearly. So, and I'm going to just manipulate some of those pieces. Notice I didn't put glue up on the end. I want some of it to be able to move if it wants to. And then I'm going to do the same down here. I don't need all this. And I don't really need a ton of glue here. I'm just going to put it on this piece right here. Let's see where we want this. So if we want this here, I think that's good right there. Just going to hold that for a second. This is going off the edge, but remember this is a smaller layer, so that will be fine. I'm gonna glue this down. I don't know, can you still hear the rain hitting the roof of the camper? Some pretty big drops coming off the trees, I think. Oops, I froze. There we go, I'm back. Froze because my camera's running out of juice. It's charging it all the way up here. Can't charge it at home when you don't have any power. I'm going to bring some dimensionals in, and I'm going to apply dimensionals to the back of my tall vase. All right, and we'll just put that right here. All right. I'm going to bring in some wavy trim. Now this wavy trim is kind of a new product, and I think it's lots of fun. I'm not sure where I put my glue dots. I thought I had some, but all right, well, I don't really need them. Nope. I've got 5 bottles of this, but not a single glue dot. That's okay. I'm just going to wrap it around the front. Well, I'll wrap it around the back. I think now is the time whether or not I want to see if I want to attach that brown layer. Do I want this? Yeah, I think I have a sample of one without and one with, and this will be the one with, so you'll be able to see which one you like better. Go ahead and just layer this on. Make sure my layer is nice and even all the way around. It's one of the great things about the green glue is you have plenty of time to move it around. All right. And now I'm going to wrap this wavy trim around. I'm just going to tie it in a very simple knot, a little square knot. Left over right. Well, I think it's supposed to be right over left and left over right, but I just did it the opposite way. It's all right, it works. Okay, so we've got our trim on there, and I think I have scissors in here. I can trim my trim. I don't need my edges ends that long, so let's trim that. We still do need a sentiment, so don't go anywhere. And then I'm going to adhere this to the card base. And I think I will use some dimensionals here. This trim has some thickness to it, so I might as well apply this to compensate for that a bit, so we don't have this bulge in the middle of the card. All right. I'm so glad I was able to come live tonight. I really did not know if I was going to be able to because of the storm. Didn't know what it was like up here, but my husband was up here a lot earlier setting up, and we got everything going and all set. So in here, another thing I like about this set is this is a great set for this time of year. This is when I start thinking about making thank you cards, because I try to send a card of gratitude or thanks each day leading up to Thanksgiving in November. So I need quite a few cards. So it's good to get a good jump start, and there are lots of gratitude and thankful sentiments in here. So I'm going to use this with gratitude, if I can find that. That's the smallest one here. And I'm going to bring in the early espresso, and I'm going to just stamp it right here along the edge and hope it's straight, and it wasn't. I'm going to keep trying though. It's really hard. Let me see if I can stand up and go over it a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm going to just take my scissors because this is a pretty, and it's really straight and it's really little. I can go ahead and just trim around it. Got a nice little layer there. I can see that I want to trim just a little bit over here, I think. There we go. This wasn't quite straight. Now it's straight. And we'll just take some edge, I think, of my dimensionals. And we'll attach that here. Bring in my card. And there we go. With gratitude. So here's the card without the extra layer, and here's the card with a layer. I think both look, look nice. Oh, wait, you know what? We haven't added any gems. Oh, here's one of my new favorite gems. I was given this by my upline, who I think I may have met close to 20 years ago, but I'm not sure. And I have not seen her since. She lives Idaho or someplace like that. I'm going to take a couple of these. Aren't they perfect for fall? Look at the lovely color and bronze and gold. I'm just going to go ahead and put one of these here. And let's put a couple other ones elsewhere right here. And where are we going to put the other one? Let's see. I feel like I do want another one. Where am I gonna put it? Maybe here. Got a nice little triangle going. That works. So which one do you like better? Put that in the comments or in the chat. Let me know whether you like it better with the layer underneath or just plain. I think they kind of have two different looks to them. One is a little bit more formal, I think. Let's stamp something on the inside. Let's go. So it says, with gratitude. I think your thoughtfulness is much appreciated is what I'm going to go for here. And we'll just stamp that on the inside. Hopefully I'll get it straight. It's always tough to do working on the camera. On the inside, so if I don't get it right, I'm going to have to make another layer for the inside. Oh, looks great. And if we want to do a little bit of a decoration, we can certainly do that. Just get out one of these stamps. I'm going to go ahead. Now this, you know what, I can get one that fits. Here. Here we go. And I need a piece of, oh, see, this is where we are, Yogi Bear. I just need a piece of scrap here. Got to protect the table. And so we'll just put a little branch right on the inside there. And I could do the same thing for the envelope, which I didn't bring. So anyway, I'm going to turn you back around. Ooh, a couple more of you found me too. So thanks for joining me tonight. It is getting warm here in the camper. I had Peter turn off the air conditioner so you could hear me because it's quite loud when it comes on. But I hope you have a great night. If it's stormy where you are, I hope the storm goes away soon. If you have no power, I hope you get power soon. But I hope you all have a great weekend. And don't forget to tune in on Tuesday for my Earthen Elegance class. I think it's a great one. I love the cards that I've got designed, and I hope you will as well. We'll see you later, everybody.